Hi Leo, here is a general look at your solar chart for November 2014. And this month the Sun is transiting through Scorpio, which is currently hosting Saturn, and that means that all of the signs will be feeling little essence of Saturn coming across their lives in November, but actually it doesn't have to be anything major. However, the fixed signs, and you're one of the fixed signs, could be feeling a little bit more at times. And that will be to do with the area that Saturn is in, which for you currently is at the root of your chart. It's a very long transit, started in October 2012, and it is to do with what's buried under the rug from the past. And that's the dust that's been swept there, that's the skeletons rattling in the closet maybe, or it is to do with family and family members and the family dynamic, or it's to do with neighborhood, it's to do with property, it's to do with location, to do with place on the map. Anything you've been tolerating regarding your domestic setup, place on the map, family, all of that has been needing more of your attention. It could be just one of those things, you know, I mean, one thing at a time, please, but tying up loose ends with any of those matters, and doing it through adversity, doing it through adverse circumstances and conditions at times. So to begin, until the 22nd, the Sun is in a very practical area to do with property, to do with the home base, to do with family, and all of the things that I just mentioned with Saturn, and actually goes across Saturn in that area there on the 17th and the 19th. So try not to, you know, schedule anything that's important to you related to any of those matters: property, place on the map, location, family, neighborhood, the past, unless you're prepared to push through and complete something that you've maybe been working on, and that's like an ongoing thing for maybe a while now. And that also can be to do with yourself and your own knee-jerk responses to certain triggers. So Saturn is a great and master builder. There's no doubt about it. She forms and shapes, but she does rather sort of drag us through the mill in the process. But then, of course, you know, without the mill, well, we don't have the flour and we don't get the bread, or we don't have the whatever the thing that's being. It could be linseed, couldn't it? If you don't eat wheat. But I'm digressing here. So yes, just listen to your instincts. You're likely to be feeling things more deeply, but just keep listening to those instincts. And also, whilst I'm on the subject of Saturn, we've got Saturn around on, particularly targeting the second week. I would be interested in keeping maybe not necessarily a low profile, but keeping things, not planning anything too complicated or too heavy or too important for the second week of November. Because one has to be more diplomatic maybe, or more cautious, or take on more responsibility because of a relationship. Or it might be because of something financial or something related to property. It might be possessions, something like that. It's not really a great time to go out to get yourself a bargain between the 10th and the 14th in particular. But also, like I say, between the 17th and 19th, the Sun goes over Saturn. It's a very short time there, and it won't be the whole time. It's just that I've expanded the margins a little bit to cover the eventualities in different time zones, but also the different positions of the Sun in your sign, because you might be born at the beginning, the middle, or the end of the sign, or any sort of space in between there as well. So the 17th and the 19th, really. And also I want to just flag up that there is something quite important going on with Pluto as well. Now, even though you're not a cardinal sign, you're a fixed sign, it does mean, especially also for Leo rising people who may have Pluto in their house of health. Now, this is sort of like been like hidden deep down and not a lot mentioned about it. I did mention it quite a while back, but I'll say it again. You know, Pluto along with Uranus, but Pluto in this case is a real deep, clean energy. It really does get radical, and wherever Pluto sits, it's in your house of health. It's also in your house of work. The two to go together. It's in the house of getting organized and getting your act together and getting it done in practical ways, whether it's to do with health or work. But of course, if you haven't got your health in sync and your body aligned and feeling good, then you're not enjoying your job. You're not enjoying every day, which is just mundane everyday tasks. You know, if we're not talking about like a major employment here. Pluto can mean like the layers of the onion that you've got to keep delving down and digging down and digging down and digging down until you get to the truth with a capital T. This finally is the thing that's going to work for me, and that is to do with health matters, but it can also be to do with employment matters, because you might have some employment snatched away from you, or rather you decide, look, I prefer to take a cut in pay because I'm happier doing X rather than Y, you see. So it's very much the snake shedding its skin energy in this area of your chart. Now this month we're going to get Mars there. Mars is always a trigger. And so watch out between the 9th and 13th. Again, it's that second week again, and the 10th and the 14th. So it's the second week for there to be the energy of change, but also the energy of maybe breakthrough. It could be through effort, through whatever. You've got Uranus in a very good angle to your sun sign for a very long time now. You've had, particularly being noticed at the moment by you later, or rather you Leos born in the middle 10 days, or with 11 to 14 degrees rising particularly, but it's for the whole sign, okay? And you could be inspired or awoken to something which you didn't know before, you didn't get before, you didn't see before, and that input is coming through to you to do with somebody maybe at a distance, or to do with a teacher energy. Something that is really bringing the light, like that cosmic aha energy. Now that might be or might not be related to your house of health and employment. It may or may not be, but I just thought I'd mention those two things because there's this trigger energy on Pluto and Uranus this month for all of the signs, and those are the areas that it's going to be for you. Now until the 9th, Mercury is in a very outgoing, chatty sort of a place. You could be doing what I'm doing here, you know, chatter, 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 babble, babble. But also comparing notes, making new connections, ideas popping off like light bulbs in your head is a great time for learning and sharing stuff. And then for most of the month, that's say between the 9th and 28th, discussions could revolve around family. It goes into this more sensitive area, it goes into the same area, this is Mercury I'm talking about, the area connected to the past, family, tradition, it's sort of lineage, it's kind of a legacy, it's sort of the bloodline, you know, but it's also to do with home, the nest. It's to do with just geographical location, neighborhood, country. So that's where your mental focus is likely to be. And like I say, it's a bit more inward, or I didn't say, but it's a bit more inward looking, introspective and sensitive, so it's easier to push your buttons, but a lot going on maybe on a base of operations, whether it's your home base or not. You might not be at home, you might be somewhere else, but a lot going on in and around, like, you know, on your doorstep or not too far away sort of thing, but also from where you are over the wires, like I'm doing here. Until the 17th, Venus is beaming a very friendly, sociable light into the root of your chart, the same as the Sun, and also Mercury. When Mercury moves, they're all in there. They're all in cahoots, and actually, it's a really nice mix. You know, it's strength in numbers, safety in numbers even. The energies are all coming together in that area there. Overall, it encourages a more comfortable time at home, maybe embellishing a space, or a more harmonious time at home, a more settled and balanced time within the home base for some reason or another, or indeed you're visiting, or you're getting away from a home base and you're in another base, or you're just visiting, or it might be about property, it might be somebody visiting you, and that might be about property, or it could be just because they want to come and visit you. So appreciation going on there, more feeling of appreciation about where you're located, or the people that you have around you that you're seeing in your private sort of, you know, in your private kind of lair, as it were, the king of the jungle, or castle, shall we say. Now from the 17th, Venus then moves into a more fun area. It's more sparky and jokey and creative, and this is the time when you could be doing well in the love department, or you could be enjoying the interaction with young people, children, pets, partners, and this energy is linking you to things that you yourself can do, which you just think, yeah, I pulled that off. You know, it's empowering, and it's to do with hobbies and leisure pursuits and art as well, anything like that, performance, theatre. It's very, very strong in that area there, and you're really getting something out of that. You are a sign which rules performance, and you're a theatrical sign anyway. You know how to do a good presentation, and you learn, you know, as you get older, how to really, really improve on anything which is to do with image and projecting image, whether it's, you know, your image or somebody else's, or something else's. And but like I said at the beginning, you know, the awareness of the slowing energy, of the sort of more cautious, having to be patient, having to take it one step at a time energy of Venus between the 10th and the 14th. But of course, this will be when Venus is in your home area. Mars is emphasizing the practical side of things, and you are rolling up your sleeves and getting busy with dotting the I's, crossing the T's, and just getting it all as you want it to be. It's also, you've got to keep a weather eye on repairs and maintenance and the mechanical details of daily life, and being asked to use your skills to do this or that or the other. Indeed, learning new skills and figuring it out, you know, which lever to pull, which button to press, which whatever, you know, wire to put where, but also having more to do with skilled people, and that might be health providers, that could be service providers in general, but it might be health providers, and you know, it could also be therapies, therapeutic practices, that kind of thing. And indeed, with the Venus position, as Venus will be in fact from the 17th, you probably enjoying that interaction, that connection there on a practical level, but in a sort of, you know, having a few laughs along the way. And now from the 22nd, the Sun enters that same area as Venus, which is spontaneous and more the child energy, the more creative energy, and that's really good news. You getting on better maybe with children, but also romantic partners, and indeed clicking with somebody, and really enjoying that area of arts, entertainments, hobbies, leisure pursuits. So just a quiet little hobby that you do, or a quiet little job that you're doing. It could be something that, you know, we technically call work, in fact, but you just get this feeling of self-worth from it. You get this self-esteem coming from it, and it is personally empowering for you. Mercury is going to be in that area as well, and that's from the 28th, so that's right at the very, very end of that of the month. Saturn is helping you to build better emotional, physical foundations as you sort out issues to do with the past, but also build upon the past. And it is something that you've decided or created in the past that is having a knock-on effect in the present, and this is kind of an ongoing thing. Saturn does come out of there finally, though, in the last week of next month, right at the very, very last week of the year, in fact. And that will be a break from that area before it goes, she goes back into there later on in 2015 for a short time. You Leos born in the last 10 days, or with 23 to 28 degrees rising, will feel the energy of Saturn the most this month, but the whole sign will feel it. And then Jupiter is in your sign. This is, you know, written kind of in the stars. Jupiter is in your sign, and this is time for a great new chapter, a growth spurt in your life where you're reaching out into new things. You're finally cracking it, you're finally getting it, you're finally seeing beyond and reaching further, and you should be putting yourself in environments which are odd and strange and exotic, just unfamiliar for you. Not for the sheer hell of it, but simply because you can learn. You just get the sense, you can learn from these environments, or being with these people or these places, or, you know, just getting you on this huge learning curve, because Jupiter is offering that until next August. And indeed, you should go with that flow, because this only comes around once every 12 years. And doors will start to open to you. This possibility here, there's that potential there, and so on and so forth. More travel is likely, or at least more involvement with people in lands, you know, at a distance, or places at a distance, because of course if I'm talking to North America, you've got a pretty big land there, but you know, if I'm on a little tiny island as I am here, which is off the coast of Spain, is pretty small. So yeah, shall we say places further afield then. And just to avoid trusting to luck and overlooking important details, being too trusting, of people and putting them on a bit of a pedestal. So just watch out for that. But this is your opportunity. It's almost like, you know, the gate has lifted or opened, the portcullis has come up, and it's like, wow, look at all that out there, you know. And I've been kept back and away from that for so long, and here I am. Where shall I start? You know, because you have to filter and sift for what's the best for you. And this is your opportunity to reach, as I said before, the golden ring on the merry-go-round of life. And you Leos born in the last 10 days, or with 19 to 23 degrees rising, going to feel that energy the most this month. And that's it for November. If you know your rising sign, your moon sign, listen to those. And also, if you want to read this stuff, it's all written up on my website, every word. Well, actually, no, that's not true. I say an awful lot more that's written on my website, but most of it is. And I'll see you the next time.